Hey everyone that's not listening. Today we're going to talk about the golden child Ben Shapiro and his prestigious lecture, Facts Don't Care About Your Feelings, hosted on the prestigious PragerU portal on the YouTubes. I would like everyone to watch his videos to make sure I'm not misrepresenting what he says, but I don't think I am. So let's get into it. Ben Shapiro, Mr. 34-year-old Facts Don't Care About Your Feelings, the master of facts and debating leftist. I have very high expectations for this video on the prestigious PragerU page. I mean, it's a university. Prestigious lecture must be incredibly well sourced and talk about objective reality, maybe about how people don't perceive reality for how it is, and all this deep philosophical content about objective reality, right? Pretty impressive for a 4-minute video, right? But enough with the sarcasm. Why does Ben, the 34-year-old man, care so much about what college students are doing? College students have always been pretty radical. The first minute of this video is Shapiro ranting about this one protest on a college campus and setting it up as a straw man for his first point. I'm just going to give a quick summary while I'm going over his first point.
On the college campus today, feelings rule facts and victims are heroes.
So, the straw man Ben was talking about was that there was a protest on Vanderbilt in 2015. That was because there were things a professor said that were disparaging of Islam, but Ben doesn't say that. He just says that they're protesting white privilege and microaggressions, which is a complete misrepresentation of what they were actually protesting, and doesn't mention anything about the actual reason. Almost like he's trying to set up a straw man to knock down later. But hey Ben, facts don't care about your feelings, so stop trying to misrepresent the facts to make you feel better. But, okay, whatever, Ben. So, the next part of his story is that someone left a bag of poop in the front of the Black Cultural Center on campus following the protest. A black student organization denounced it as a hate crime on Facebook, and the police came and investigated, finding it was left by a blind woman from her service dog because she could not find a trash can. Then Ben claims the whole campus rallied around the fact that handicapped students are also marginalized. Despite not sourcing any of these claims, simple Google searches prove at least 2/3 of what he said. However, I was not able to find any obvious news articles about a massive outcry about the marginalization of blind students. I looked through the back issues of the Vanderbilt Hustler from November to December of 2015, and there's actually nothing about the bag of poop, leading me to think that Ben greatly blew up the severity of the incident to make it seem like college students were unreasonable and overreacted to minor incidents. However, there was indeed a bag of poop. So, Ben misrepresented what happened, trying to make it seem much worse to push his agenda, that colleges are unreasonable leftist hellholes. So, in a video about how facts don't care about your feelings, he let his feelings change how he represented what happened. That's not very reasonable or logical, is it, Ben?
According to the left, all inequality in America is due to victimization. They start by claiming that all non-white people in America are victims of white privilege. Then come gays and lesbians and the transgendered. They're all victims of our heteronormative and homophobic society.
No. I don't think anyone has ever seriously made the argument that all inequality is a result of victimization. That's a great strawman, though, that's easily knocked down. I would hardly consider certain developmental or genetic disorders that make education more difficult to be the result of victimization, or that people are different heights because of victimization. He then goes on to say every minority is a victim of white privilege, which is a crazy misunderstanding of what white privilege is. Great job throwing out buzzwords to make yourself sound persecuted, Ben. If you want to talk about systemic racism, then use the right words and discuss with facts, not feelings, Ben. Then he continues his sarcasm train by trying to imply that the LGBTQ don't face any problems, despite gay marriage only being legal across the United States for 5 years.
Even if you have never actually experienced discrimination, you've surely been targeted by microaggressions. Nasty little words and phrases that weren't meant to be insults, but just are.
I don't know, man. There are over 21,000 papers on Google Scholar about microaggressions. You don't write that many papers about something that's fake, unless it's trickle-down economics.
And heaven forbid anybody address you by your biologically accurate pronoun. What if she identifies as a man?
Great job with the casual transphobia, Ben. But unfortunately for you, body dysphoria is currently recognized in DSM-V, and transitioning is considered a valid therapeutic approach to dealing with body dysphoria. You clearly don't know shit about psychology, Ben. Try to stay in your wheelhouse of strawmen and appeals to authority. Facts don't care about your feelings. How about you just try to stop being an asshole?
Everyone's a victim, except, of course, straight white males. Also, anybody who dares to disagree with the left. If you're guilty of either of those crimes, you must be confronted, even if doing so requires actual aggression, like, say, a riot. Here's a trick the left plays to justify their violence. First, they say it's okay to punch Nazis. Then they say that every conservative, in fact, everybody they disagree with, is a Nazi.
That's a great theory, Ben. However, the OGA said right-wing terrorism happens at about 3 times the rate of left-wing terrorism in the United States. Also, weeks after the synagogue shooting that killed 11 people, where the shooter was a rabid poster to an online far-right social media network that was promoted by Fox News, Ben says, and I quote, "Left-wing anti-Semitism is more dangerous than violent white supremacists." Come on, Ben. Facts don't care about your feelings. Also, nice generalization. Everyone on the left thinks everyone is a Nazi and violent. Good job defending the Nazis, I guess?
They're based on feelings, not facts.
Are you trying to trigger me, Ben? You make an argument based on strawmen and misrepresentation with no data, and claim the liberals are the ones that care about feelings and not facts. You claim the left is violent, don't give any examples, and try to pretend the right isn't far more violent, statistically speaking. Why don't you care about data, Ben?
Take white privilege. The only real privilege in America is American privilege.
Oh God, I'm not even going to touch this. This would take way too long to explain. I'm just going to link to Jon Stewart convincing Bill O'Reilly that it's real. Both of those people are much smarter than Ben Shapiro.
According to the liberal Brookins Institution, if you make just these 3 decisions, you'll do fine. And with drive and ambition, you'll probably do better than fine. First, finish high school. Second, don't have babies before you're married. Third, hold down a job.
First of all, Ben, do you not understand the difference between correlation and causation? Just because these things are linked doesn't mean that they cause each other. The opinion piece that you cited says that the vast majority of people that do well make these decisions. That doesn't mean that poor people can just get married and then they're going to be rich. Generally, people make all these decisions because it's the easiest thing for them to do. They grow up in an environment that pushes them to make these decisions. But just because people that are successful do these things doesn't mean that these things make you successful. Ben is confusing cause and effect. The effect of a good living environment pushes them to make these decisions, not that they make these decisions to get ahead in life.
Also, there's no patriarchy. Women already make up the majority of college graduates. According to Time magazine, young single women without kids already earn more than their male counterparts. Oh, and gay and lesbian couples, they earn more than their straight counterparts too.
How do those statistics show that the patriarchy isn't real? If you want to show that, then maybe look at the total pay gap by gender as a whole, instead of a super specific instance where the pay gap is reversed for a period of time. If he wasn't being disingenuous, then you'd point out that the pay gap still exists, and taking one specific demographic that doesn't really follow the general trend doesn't prove the so-called patriarchy isn't real. Also, I would really like Ben Shapiro's definition of patriarchy. I'm pretty sure his definition would be, if men are in control of everything, it's a patriarchy, and since they currently don't control the entirety of society, it's not a patriarchy. But looking at the current state legislatures that are trying to legislate access to women's health care, they're almost entirely men. If men are telling women what they can or cannot do with their body, I don't know about you, but that kind of seems like a patriarchy to me.
So, stop worrying so much about your feelings and start worrying a little more about being a good person, doing your best, and not getting in your own way.
So, you're saying that everyone should be super rational and not make decisions based on their feelings. This, unfortunately, is a current year. We have President Feelings in office. You're promoting the party of alternative facts and global warming denialism in a forum that's paid for by the Koch brothers, people that deny global warming for financial reasons. Please get off your high horse and stop acting like the divine arbiter of truth, justice, and the American way. But I guess that's okay, as long as they pay you enough. Well, that's all. Like, subscribe, or whatever. Nothing really matters anymore.